Hi and a very good day. So in this video session, I will continue discussing one topic under getting started, which is naming vector, matrix and data frame. Alright. So like our previous exercise, when you try to create a vector, we need this C function here. We say that we try to concatenate or to combine the element for a single vector. What are the meaning behind vector? Alright, so let's take a look at here. Suppose that now I try to assign object name postcode, where this postcode particularly contain the element of 40,000, 41,000, and 42,000 as example. Alright. Again, one of the tips, RStudio actually have several shortcut that you can use, and you can search it in the internet. As example here, suppose that we want to run our code in script towards console. You can click this run, or as we can see there, you can click you can use Control plus Enter as the shortcut. So I use Control Enter. If you want to selection, just select Control Enter. But now, because this is just a single line, Control Enter. So again, Control Enter. Now I already success to create a vector which name postcode, where it is actually containing the list a number of 40,000, 41,000, and 42,000. How do I know whether I successfully create or not? We can always use this class function. Now the thing is, in R we actually try because it say that this is an object oriented languages. So the thing that we do, actually we will implement the function towards the object and so on. That's the basic operation. So suppose that now we have our object here, postcode. What are the class of postcode? So it give you numeric. And a new function that I will introduce in this presentation is Str function. What is Str function? Suppose that you want to know what is this Str. When you write Str here, it will give you what are the packages that related to Str function. Why I'm not install or import or so on? Because for this particular function, this is already in our R, so I don't need to import and install and so on, because it is already exists in our R. And you can read the what are the str function for here, or you can always one of the thing again, you can put the square bracket str, and then you just enter. It will give us the description of the function and so on. You can read this. Compactly display the structure of an arbitrary R object. It means that it will give us more details compared to class information. As example here, I run. It will give you the same as the type is numeric, where we have 3 observation. That's the thing. How do I know what are the packages that that already in my R? This is the list. This is the list. You can check in your RStudio. And for our syllabus, I will not installing any extra packages from from the archive, okay, because we will focus on what are already built in this RStudio, okay, and that's the thing. Okay, so we back to the discussion on vector. Okay, as we can see here, it gives us, okay, the number of this particular position starting with 1. Okay, so that's the thing that I need to highlight. Different from Python. Python start from 0, R start from 1. As an example here, suppose that I want to list a number from 1 to 100. Okay, as we can see here, it will give us this particular position of this element. Because of what? A vector, you can view it as maybe a single line of numbers. Okay, 1 to 100, a single line of numbers, horizontally or vertically. Okay, so they actually don't have any dimension. This is actually not the second row, the third row. That is not the thing for vector. And it depends on our console size. Suppose that again I type, alright, it depends on our console type, our console size, alright. So that's the thing about vector. Okay, you can imagine it as okay, a long list number. Okay, and it just this particular bracket is actually which the position of this element is at where, at 27 position and so on, right? Okay, so we back to our vector. Okay, that's the explanation. Okay, we can, okay, if you feel that your console is to okay, you can always clean your console by using Control L. Okay, so it will give us okay, but you don't have to worry, there is always history here. This is actually what are we doing before this. This is actually okay, history under, okay, environment is any object that we store in this particular file or project. Okay, so that's the way. We back to our discussion. Okay, suppose that now, okay, suppose that now our postcode is a number like this. Okay, 40,000, 41,000, 42,000. And when we dealing with numbers such as postcode, we know that this particular number belong to a particular region. Okay, and then you want to give the name of our vector. It means that every element here, we want to give it a name. So how do we do it, right? Okay, so here we create another vector. Okay, okay, which is region. Okay, region, and then to name our postcode is actually by using this code. Okay, name this function. Okay, names, and then what are the object that you want to names, what are the vector that you want to names, and you give the assignment operator region. Okay, so let's try. Okay, control enter, and then okay, as we can see here, once you name your vector, okay, so you will get that 40,000 for Shah Alam, 41,000 for Clang, 40,000 for Port Clang, and so on. Okay, so here instead of just 40,000, 41,000, okay, you give the attribute for your vector. Okay, and when we call this str function, now, okay, instead of a numeric vector, it also have names, which is names. The names is Shah Alam, Clang, and Port Clang, and so on. So that's the way how we naming our vector, right? Alternatively, okay, alternatively, you can use this function to create a vector that have that have attribute. Okay, C, again C Shah Alam equals to 40,000. Okay, comma clang. Okay, since that this is a character, so you need to put the double quotation, okay, equals to 41,000 and so on, and then you run. Okay, this is how. Okay, plus here does it means that okay, plus here it means that it's not a up until here. Okay, this is to complete this code, you need this particular code to completely run this expression and so on. Okay, so when again, that's the way how can we naming our vector, which are the most easier for you to work with. It depends on your works, context of your works. Okay, maybe because of this is only we have only 3 element in this particular vector, so I think that this is achievable, it is doable. People can see can understand our code. The thing is, when we try to do programming, make sure that our program is readable, not only to others but also for us later on. Okay, right, so that's naming the vector. Next, naming the matrix. Okay, this is actually, this is I'm creating. Okay, I'm creating a matrix name. Okay, a matrix which is the object name. Okay, matrix 1. That's the thing. Okay, so again, okay, I run it. Okay, when I check our matrix, okay, as we can see here, the presentation of our output for matrix is different from our vector, because now here 1 is the row, the first row, the second row, the third row, while here 1 is okay, the first column, the second column. So it represent the row and the row and the column for each of our elements, that matrix. So you have to differentiate between matrix output, vector output, data frame output later on, right? So how can we name this particular matrix? Suppose that we want to name the column, we want to name the row. Okay, the thing is, okay, for matrix, the function that we need to give the name is, as example here, call name is, for column name we use function call names. For row names we use row name function. Okay, so let's take a look what happened. You can check the structure first. Okay, it will give us it will give us the number of row and then the number of column, which is matrix. Okay, and then let's name our matrix. Okay, when you call it, instead of it give us this square bracket, number, the first column, the second column, it will give us the name as according to our assignment here. Okay, A, B, or, and then we try to name our row next. Okay, matrix 1. Now we will have attribute in our matrix. So when we ask R, okay, the structure of our matrix, okay, instead of the dimension, it will also give us the attribute, which is the first the observation the row names is XYZ, the column name is AB. Okay, that's metric. Right. Okay. Okay, lastly, I will talking about data frame. Okay, so data frame. Let's do some revision. Okay, suppose that you have this vector x and y, right? And then you okay, like I say, okay, when you create a vector, you need this C function. What if you use this C function mistakenly when we try to create a data frame like this? Okay, C X Y. This is actually a wrong way to create a data frame. Okay, what happen if you create like this? Okay, your XY is actually, it will give us the combination of okay, just one column, then the combination of the element in X and Y. This is actually not the one that we want. This is not the one that we want based on this function. Okay, so the correct way to write it is XY data frame XY. Okay, so this is actually the thing that we want. Okay, based on when we create this, okay, our data frame actually have already have the column name, which is the first column name X, the second column name Y. Alright, and different from matrix, as we can see here, 1 2 3 4 here does not have any square bracket, because 1 2 3 4 here we regard it as the row names. Okay, 1 2 3 4 is actually the default row name for data frame. Okay, and row name must be uh, must be must be unique to, okay, every observation must have a unique row names, right? That's the difference between data frame output and matrix output. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, this is just for revision. What are the difference when you try to use C function here in the data frame and without? Okay, right, so let's take a look on how can we name. Suppose that I want to create a data frame name df1 df.1. Okay, in R you can name by using dot instead of underscore. You also can name by using dot. That's why when you see the function here, some function will use dot, some function will use underscore. It is the way you can name your object in R. Right, suppose that we have the f1 here, and the f1 here have okay, this is the column name for our data frame. Okay, and this is the row name for our the row name for our data frame. And suppose that we want to rename this particular column name and row name in our data frame. So what are the function? For columns, we'll use name function. Okay, we will use name function. Okay, it follow what are the character that you assign to these names. Okay, names the data frame and the name, and then and next, if you want to names the row names in our data frame, you use row names. Okay, as we can see here, this is the output. Okay, so I call back our matrix one. Okay, as we can see here, you see that this output is particularly the same. Okay, the F1 and matrix 1 is the same output, but when we try to check the structure, Okay, when you try to check the structure, now as we can see here, even though the output have the same presentation, okay, the structure is different. Here for the F1, it will give us data frame, and it will give us the information of how many observation and how many variables. Okay, so in data frame, the column will known as the variable, the row will known as the observation, and each observation should be unique toward each other, right? So it's different from matrix. Okay, matrix is a list of element which is have two dimension, how many row, how many column, right? So I think that's all for this video session. If you have any question, you can reply in my comment. Okay guys, thank you for listening. Bye.